Hey everybody, we've had a lot of requests for demos of what EverlightCMS can do, so today that's exactly what I'm going to show you. As you can see here, we have one of our designs up, the Love Ministries design, and here's what we're going to go over today. Some of the most common things we see happening within our website. So we're going to add a blog post, a video, a new page, we're going to edit, maybe modify a form, add a new event, and maybe mess with a banner. So let's go ahead and get started with the blog post. So here on our landing page, we actually have this featured blog post right here, and the most recent one shows up at the top. So if we go ahead and just click on the blog post, that will take us to the blog. And we're going to go ahead and check this one out right here. So as you can see, it's a pretty standard blog. We just have an excerpt here that we've used with the Facebook comments integration down here at the bottom. So let's go ahead and let's add a blog. So once you log into EverlightCMS, you'll be presented with this screen right here, and this is basically where you do all of your editing of the website. So we're going to go into Writings, and we're going to click Manage Writings. And as you can see here, we already have some writings up, and we're going to go ahead and click Add New, or Add Item, and we're going to title this My New Blog. We can leave that date the same, that's fine. And right here is the main area that we'll be placing our content. As a little side note here, I've actually have a page here, and this comes with every one of our designs, but we use elements to kind of style things. So if we click this page, you're going to see an example page of, this is an H1 header tag, there's what an H2 header tag looks like, this is kind of just text, an H4. You kind of get an idea what elements look like, and this may not make any sense yet, but it will here just in a minute. So what I'm going to want to do is we're going to go ahead, and right here is where you select your style. So we're going to call this actually that's going to auto-populate, but My New Blog right there, and we might give that an H2, which if we look here, you can see that that's what an H2 looks like. So once I put that up, I'm actually just going to grab some random text here, and we're just going to go ahead and copy and paste it right in here. So the big key thing to remember is anytime you're copying and pasting anything, you want to go ahead and click this little text guy right here, and that'll kind of keep all the garbage from coming in there. So if we go ahead and right click and say paste, or we'll just do a Control V, paste it right in there. You can see that the text was just pasted in there as plain text, and right here's a paragraph. So I'm going to go ahead and select this, and I'm going to make that a paragraph, and I'll select that and make that a paragraph. Pretty much your standard, kind of like a Microsoft Word editor. You can actually grab this little arrow here and you can expand it down more if you need to. But pretty much that's all I'm going to put in the blog for today. And we're going to go down here, we'll pick an author, which we're just going to leave it as staff. This is going to be in the blog category. You can actually add or edit any of these categories and make your own sections. And it is going to be published. And we won't use an image today, but all you have to do is click there and you could make a big image. So we're going to go ahead and click Save and Continue Edit, and successfully updated. So if I go over here and I click on the blog, you're going to see right here it is, My New Blog, posted by the staff, the date and everything. If we click Read Now, you're going to see that it automatically uses the title to make this blue bar in the blog, so we really didn't need to put that H2 there. So let's go ahead and jump back there and edit that. So we could go ahead and just highlight that and click the delete button and use my arrow keys, and here's a little thing you can see right now. What's happening is we had that as an H2, and that's why it went big. So we'll go ahead and just highlight this, and we'll click Paragraph, and Save and Continue Edit. Now if we reload this, you're going to see that everything kind of lines up nicely, and it's ready to be commented on, and pretty easy. And as you can also see, for some people this really actually matters a lot, but we make all of our URLs very friendly for Google and all the other search engines. So it'll be easy for you to gather some hits depending on your titles and stuff and what you're going after. So we've went ahead and added a blog post, so let's go ahead and check out the videos. So if we go under Media and click on Videos, you're going to see that right now I have kind of a standard video here right now. It's called Welcome to EverlightCMS in the Media Center. So let's go ahead and let's get another video in the system. So in EverlightCMS, we'll just pop over here under Media and we'll click Videos. And there's that video we saw, so let's go ahead and click Add Item. We're going to call this Sample Video. The date aired, maybe it aired on the 1st of August. And then I'll add myself as a speaker in the video. Here you could put a description that'll show up under the video. And down here it's going to be published. Here we have the choice of whether we want it to show up in our iTunes podcast. I'm going to say no right now. And down here we have a choice that we can upload a video. We can actually use a video that's on YouTube just by pasting the link in here. Or you could use one from Vimeo by pasting a link. Or if you have your own embed code that someone gave you, you can go ahead and paste it into there. But today we're just going to upload the video just so you can see how that works. So if we click Choose File, here is the video I'd like to upload. I'll click Open, and now we're going to go ahead and click Upload. Now it has a really nice little progress bar here, so you can kind of sit back and relax while that uploads. And we should be good to go. And there it is, sample video. It's published. So let's go into the Media Center and let's refresh this page. And it has auto-generated a thumbnail as well from the video, but right here it is. It's called Sample Video. So if we go ahead and click on that, you're going to see that it's going to just go ahead and start playing. We have our short description here. People can like them on Facebook. And I'll go ahead and pause that. But once again, very, very simple. Now here's just to give you an idea, because we have a lot of questions about this too. If we go ahead and click the home page, you're going to notice that we actually had a video right here on the home page. Now the way you set that video is with this featured tag. So right now, this one's marked as featured, so that one's going to display. So say you'd want the sample video to be on the home page, we can go in and edit this. And we would scroll down here and we would say featured no, update the item. And then we would click into sample video and turn featured onto yes. And then we'll click update item. And we have the featured tag there. And then if we refresh the page, there is the video that we actually just uploaded. So, pretty simple and self-explanatory. Now what we're going to do is we're going to talk about adding a new page. So we have these kind of default pages in here, so we'll click the About Us and just take a quick peek at that. But let's say we wanted to make a new page that maybe was about a specific person. So let's go ahead and jump back into Everlight. And now what we're going to do is we're going to go under the Pages and we're going to click Manage Pages. And here's where you could go in and edit any of the existing pages that you're actually seeing already. But we're going to click Add Item. And we're going to call this About EverlightCMS. And then here, we're going to put the title About EverlightCMS. And as I showed you earlier, we have this nice little styles page here that everybody gets that you can kind of see what these tags kind of look like. So we want a blue bar at the top, so there's an H1 header tag. So we would highlight this, and we will click H1. And then I'll hit the return key. And I'm just going to put some default text in here so that it doesn't take us too long. So I'll just grab these two paragraphs right here. And I'm going to go ahead and paste that right in. Actually, I messed up. We're going to go ahead and click this little text guy first to make sure it strips any formatting. And then we're going to paste it in. So then I'll go ahead and highlight this and make sure that's a paragraph. And I'll highlight that and make sure that's a paragraph. Alright, maybe the second paragraph is, once we want a title on it. So we'll say learn more. And if we look at our styles here, we want it to be maybe this H5 with a gray background. So we can actually just highlight that learn more and turn it to an H5. And once we see it on the front of the site, you'll see that that'll look real nice for you. And then we'll go down here and we're going to select a sidebar, which we talk about sidebars in some more advanced sections, but right now we're just going to put an about us sidebar. Basically what that is that's this bar here, and you edit it kind of in the same way, but that's in one of our how-to videos, so it's very simple. So we'll put the sidebar on there. It's published, everything's good to go, and then here's the meta info for all you SEO guys that want to get everything perfect for the search engine. So we can actually call this about CMS, and for right now I'm just going to copy and paste this across all the fields, and we should be good to go. So I'm going to go ahead and save and continue, and now it's going to provide me basically with this permalink. So this is what the URL is actually going to look like. So now that we've made this page, we need to know how to get to it. So we'll go ahead and we'll click on Pages. And right here it is, About EverlightCMS. You can click Preview. And here you can see the page we just made. With the blue bar up top, we have this Learn More. So pretty simple, but now how do we get this into our existing menu structure, or into a sidebar or anything? Well, first off, you could copy and paste this link right here, and you could link it into anything. But what we're going to do is we're going to put it under the About Us. So first what we're going to do is go back into EverlightCMS, and we'll click on Links. And what Links is it's your whole top menu bar. And you're going to see that it lines up. And you have your top tiers, your sublinks. So it's going to be a sublink of About Us. So let's go ahead and click Add Link. It's not going to be a root link on the main bar, but you want it to be a sublink. So we're going to put a sublink of About Us. We're going to make sure it's fourth in order because we know we already have three. We're going to call it About Everlight. And then we can either manually put a link in here, or you can go ahead and just drop down and find your page. So here's the page, which is about EverlightCMS.com. And we can go ahead and click Save. And as you can see, right here it is. And actually, it's putting it in second place because these guys have bigger numbers. So let's go ahead and fix that. So what we believe, that needs to be number 2. And links need to be number 3. So let's save that. And now it's following in the correct order. So if we go back to our website, and we will refresh the page. And from the drop down now you can see that we have About Everlight. So if I would jump to another page, now we can go back to this page, click About Everlight. And linking new pages is, as simple as that. The next thing that we're going to go over is the events. Basically just your calendar system. Now the cool thing that we offer is you can have just a standard event, or you can have an event that requires a registration so you can figure out how many people are coming, or you can actually have paid registrations and collect the money online. Here's an example of a paid registration, here's an example of a free registration. So if we go ahead, and I'm actually just going to create a new one, and then we'll look at things from there. But if we go into Everlight here, and we'll click on Events, and we will manage events. And here's those 2 events that we actually already saw. We'll go ahead and click Add Item for a new event. And we'll call this a sample event. This event's going to start on Friday and will end on Sunday. And the venue, our place. Let's put some default data in here. And here is where we'll actually put our details in for the event. So basically, the big thing that we need to know here is, based on our styling, we can actually say, we'll say description, so people know that they can read here to see what this event's about. We'll go ahead and make this an H5 so we get that gray background. And then I'm just going to use some default text here again, and this will just be, the description of your event. And I'm going to click the little text guy here, and I'm going to paste that in, and then I'll make sure that's a paragraph. And then we're going to do maybe directions. You can kind of do anything here you want for your events. So we'll make that another H5, so we get that bar to separate it. And then I'm just going to paste in, actually, and maybe you want to link it to Google Maps. So to create a link, you just highlight this, you click the little link button here, and we'll put this to Google. Click insert, and as you can see, it's made you a link to Google Maps there. We just actually made it to Google, and if you want to put this in the category, you could. We're going to go ahead and change this to published as yes. And this is not a recurring event. You could make this a recurring event, and saves you some time by making the entries. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to say no for registration right now. And then for the image, we'll click the little image, and we're going to use this default image here, and we'll click open. So let's scroll back up here, and we'll click save and continue edit. And successfully added. So if we go back to events here, and we refresh this, you can see that we now have a sample event with some default data here, and we have our image here loading. So if we click more info, there's our image, and here's a location, venue, here's a description, and the directions bar you put in, and you got a link to Google here, and your friends can like this and kind of help spread the word. But let's say now that you decided, hey, we want to go ahead and accept free registration so we can track how many people's coming to this event. You could actually come back right back into here, and say you had logged out, you can click Manage Events. And right there's our sample event, so we'll click Edit. And we'll come down here, and registration required, we'll say yes. And for free registration, you just leave this all at zeros, and you're good to go. So we'll go ahead and we'll click Save and Continue Edit. We'll go ahead and we'll refresh this. And now you're going to see we have this new bar here that says the cost is free, and a link to register for this event. So we'll go ahead and click on that link. And we now have a registration form that the user can fill out and go ahead and process the registration. Now, as you can see here, for paid registrations, we offer event coupons and some more advanced things. But once you have registrations, you would go to Events and click Registrations. And you could go ahead and you could click on each event and track things by each event. You would see everyone who was coming. You can export the data to Excel or export the email addresses. You can go ahead and edit anything you need for each one. You click View here, and you'll see all the detailed information on each registration. So it's a full registration system built into here, and you can actually manage your registrations from within here as well. So if you had someone call in or email in, you could go ahead and click Add Registration, and click your event, and go ahead and add the people right here on the back end of the system. So it gets pretty, there's a lot of features in here, but we're trying to keep it pretty basic today. But the function here, there's a mass function you can do. So the next thing we're going to look at is we'll go to even something simpler. We're going to go to the banners. So if we click on the home screen here, we have these rotating banners that are going to pop up here. And you can see we have 2 of them right now. But let's say we want to go ahead and add a 3rd. So if we go back here and we click on banners, and those are the two we have. So we're going to make this next one go in the number 3 spot. So we'll click Add Item. And we'll call this, we're going to do another welcome banner. So we'll say welcome, and we can either enter a link here to where you want it to go on your website, or you can actually do a # if you don't want it to go anywhere. We want this banner to start today, and maybe after Thursday we don't want it to show anymore. So once Thursday's over, it'll automatically disappear. We're going to make it 3rd on the list, and then we'll go ahead and upload the banner. There's the welcome banner. We'll click Save. And you can see right there is the new welcome banner. And if we refresh, it's now showing up in number 3 on the list. So banners are pretty simple. Now the last thing I'm going to talk about today is adding a form to your website or editing an existing form. So if we go ahead, and what we're going to do is we're going to go under Pages, and we created that one page. It was about EverlightCMS. So we're going to go ahead and we want to put a form on this page. So we're going to click Edit, and maybe we want to ask people, you know, how they heard about us. So I'm going to go ahead here, and I'm going to add another blue bar, and I'm going to say, how did you hear about us? And we'll change that to an H1 tag, which will give us the blue bar, and I'm going to hit the return button. And now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and load up the forms creator. So under Pages, if you go ahead and click Form Creator, it's going to load a new tab. And you can see some of these forms we actually already have on the site right now. We're going to click Create New Form. And what we're going to do is you could do your title of your form here. I'm actually going to just delete this. Actually, I'll leave it here. We'll call this How Did You Hear About Us? And a short description. Just fill out the form. So if we click this field button here, you're going to see that we can add any kind of field. So what we're going to want is we're going to want to go ahead and get their name. So just click on that. It'll pop this name thing over. And maybe we want to get maybe their full address. We'll click Address, and we'll get this nice full address thing here. And then maybe we want to put a section break in. And then we will do paragraph text here. We want, you know, the comment. So if you click on paragraph, we can actually change this, make that a comment, and then we could actually say this is a required field. And then we could click on name, and we want to keep that name, and we can say this is a required field. And you know what I forgot? We need to put an email address in here. So I'll click add field here, and we'll say email. And then, you know what, I want it up there, so you can just click and drag on it and move it right there. And we want that to be required. So that's pretty much everything I want on my form, but I'm going to go ahead and click up here on the main thing, which gives you kind of all the form properties. I want to put a caption on here because I don't want to get spammed. So I'm going to turn on spam protection. And then right here is the message that the user is going to see whenever they submit. So we'll say your message has been sent. And so now that I have all that, I'm going to go ahead and click Save Form. And our form's saved and right here. So now what we're going to do is we're going to grab the embed code. So we'll click Embed. And right here's the code we need. So we'll go ahead and we'll copy that. Go back to Everlight here. What you're going to do, is this is the only time you actually have to do this, is we're going to click this little HTML button here. And right here you can see, how did you hear about us? We'll go ahead and paste that code it gave us in there. And we'll click Update. And as you can see, it's going to throw our form in here. And this is why I actually had thought about not putting this text in, because I'd already kind of stuck it in and I wanted it to be formatted with the blue bar. So now that you can see that that's working that way, let's go ahead and click Save. And we'll go ahead and go to About Everlight. We're going to see the form, but we're going to see that there's duplicate stuff here, so we're going to fix it. So here's the How Did You Hear About Us? And then here's our form that users can submit right on the website with a capture form. So we want to go ahead and get rid of this right here because we think this looks much better. So if you click back into the form builder, we'll say right here, how did you hear about us? We'll say edit form. We'll click up here to edit it, and we'll go ahead and we'll delete that, and we'll delete that as well. So now we can scroll down and click Save Form. This is how you use the form. Now we'll just go right back to our form and we'll refresh. You're going to see that has now disappeared. And our form is nicely in there. It highlights fields when you click them. And it's pretty easy as that. Now there's a lot more advanced things you can do here. You can basically set up emails. So you can put your email address in here, and when someone fills it out, it's going to send it to you. You can do advanced things like send your users back things. And then every time a user actually enters something, it goes into the entries here. So you actually have a copy saved here as well that you can come in here and edit, modify, and do whatever you need to do with. There's a lot of advanced topics that we actually haven't covered today on EverlightCMS. There's actually only one more that I'd like to show you quick, and that is the donation system. So if we go ahead and we would click Donate, there's two options. You can do a one-time donation, which is just a simple form where your end user just fills out the data and they donate. Now the second option is we have a full recurring donation system where the user will create an account, and once they log in, they can track all their donations and they can set up recurring donations that actually automatically bill every month. You can kind of log into the demo here and kind of play with that yourself, but on the back end you can see we have this thing called Partners, and what that is that's actually the donation system. And we actually may rename this just to make it a little more clear, but so you can see here that I have 2 accounts created, and so far I've donated $310, so it's an active account. So you can actually go in and you can search for each person by their name and email address. You can go ahead and view. If you would have, maybe, say I signed up an account and then I called in and I wanted to do a donation over the phone or a credit card or something, you can actually go ahead then and click Add Donation once you're in my account here, and you can process the credit card donation right here through EverlightCMS. I'll click back here. Or you can go in, you can kind of see my donation history, what I've done. Right here's an active partnership. I'm donating $100 a month. You can edit any of my contact details. So it gets pretty advanced. We actually have a full series of training videos that go through each section, go through some more topics of how to add videos onto pages, how to put images into pages, the full partner system, basically registration, setting up an event coupon. And then we actually also have videos that talk about our store, which we're not going to go over the store today, but if you would click here, our store runs on a separate system, but here's just a quick glimpse of what the store can look like. And we actually have training videos on how to use the store. The store is very powerful as well. But everything is kind of there if you want to go ahead and sign up for one of our free trials with one of our designs. You're more than welcome to do so. And you can go ahead from there. That's another key thing to note is you can start off with a design, and at any point in time you can actually upgrade your design and do anything custom that you'd like to do as well. If you have any questions, just shoot us an email at hello@everlightcms.com. And thanks for joining us today.